Next tonight we have Black Cube. Black Cube is a new nomadic contemporary art museum. So to tell you more about that is Courtney Stell.
Good evening. How do you follow comedy with contemporary art? I don't know. So I'm going to do my best to share this brand new contemporary art organization with you guys. So Black Cube is a new nonprofit nomadic contemporary art museum. We operate without a building, without walls. We have two goals. Our two main goals are to support artist sustainability and increase access to contemporary art. So believe it or not, about 8% of artists with degrees in art and fine arts make a living at their field. So we want to pay artists to create ambitious projects. So that's part of the mission of Black Cube. And then increasing access to contemporary art, we just want to move to different suburbs, to different areas of the city center. And of course here, the image of the white cube. So this is an image of what I would call the typified white cube. It's the Swiss Institute, which is in New York. And the idea, the name of Black Cube is meant to complement the idea of the white cube. So white cube is traditionally a space where art is sometimes seen as sacred or perhaps sterilized. It's in a vacuum perhaps. So Black Cube is more like art in everyday life, yeah? So here's an image of our little shipping container structure that we have built. So we do have a little structure. This is its current location right now across from the state capitol off Grant between Colfax and 14th. We'll have another pop-up here in a few weeks. The artwork is currently in India right now. But yeah, so we operate just by starting with our artist ideas. So the way the organization works, we can move to the next slide, I believe. Yeah, starting with artist ideas. So we work with about 7 artists a year, both national and regional artists. And the artists are brought into the fellowship program. They receive some curatorial support throughout a year. So that may be help with some critical writing about their work, or with their website, or developing their next body of work. We really set goals based on each artist's needs. And then they produce 2 funded bodies of work. So the first funded body of work is actually at the very bottom of that diagram, the pop-up exhibition. So that's focusing on an ambitious project that relates to a specific space. I'll give you an example here in a little bit. And the second part of this is the museum shop. So we do not want to sell random posters and things made by whoever in our museum shop. We want our artists to produce objects for the museum shop, and they receive 70% of the proceeds of the sale. So if you think about a typical gallery structure, normally artists receive like 50% of the profits of their work. So this is a little bit different. We can move to the next slide. Since we're starting a little bit late in the year, our first event was last week. We're starting with 3 artists in 2015. So on the right is a local artist, Derek Velasquez. He teaches at DU and Metro. He is going to be creating an enormous sculpture, a 30-foot tall sculpture inside an airplane hangar. The center artist is the artist we just launched with. Her name is Desiree Holman. She's based out of Oakland, California. I'll share a little bit more with you guys about her project in a moment here. And then the guy on the far left, who's actually in a bunker he made that was an artwork. He explored prepping as an artwork. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the prepping community, so Google him. His name is Chad Person, and yes, his last name is Person. Next slide. So I'm going to share with you our launch event that happened last week, October 1st on Thursday. So this is Desiree Holman, and this is an image of her pop-up exhibition. So Desiree tends to, she's a project-based artist, so she's a really interesting artist because she spends about 3 to 5 years investigating subcultures and then creating a fantasy from them. So she was looking at, she's in the Bay Area, so she was looking at tech culture and new age culture. So if you can think about a lot of stuff that has been bred and fostered in kind of Silicon Valley and in the San Francisco Bay Area. So this is actually, it's hard to read, but she did monumental projections on the rocks at Red Rocks that were, and it was partnered with a performance. These were the guides that wore these devices, these iPads that rang with different images and kind of cued the audience into different experiences. So it was an ambitious project. We had about 39 performers, and we partnered with the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. They funded the entire video part of the project. So this is our little shipping container structure at Red Rocks. Its first foray into the public arena. So in this iteration, the shipping container can be many things. For a little while, it was storage for crates, because I had nowhere to store crates. Oh, I can be a little bit of a comedian, perhaps. That's all you get. It can also be a performance space, and in this iteration, it was a museum shop. So we can move to the next slide. And these were the items that Desiree designed for a museum shop. So she did a capsule of clothing. I'm learning what the lingo is around clothing design. I wanted to call it a line, but apparently 3 items is not a line of clothing. So it's a capsule of clothing. She designed a drawstring pant, a tunic, and a cape. And they are all astral patterns that she uses in her paintings and were also projected on the rocks. So that's one example of what Black Cube may be. You also keep your eyes tuned. We'll have a 4-story tall inflatable blue sculpture that's currently in India. It'll be in that location off Grant Street next. And please check out our website for more information. I hope you guys all come to some of our events. Woo!